The Gospel of Luke tells us that as Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, when he saw the city, and what better place is there than here on the Mount of Olives to see the city of Jerusalem? When he saw Jerusalem, Jesus was seized with sadness, a sadness that made him suffer to the point of crying.
Now as he drew near, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, "If you had known, even you, especially in this your day, the things that make for your peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes. For days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment around you, surround you and close you in on every side, and level you and your children within you to the ground. And they will not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not know the time of your visitation." Dominus Flevit, the Lord wept. The Franciscan sanctuary preserving the memory of Jesus' tears over the holy city rises in the middle of the Mount of Olives, the work of the Italian architect Antonio Barluzzi that was completed in 1956.
Sappiamo dalle fonti cristiane antiche
That the Mount of Olives was an important center of the memory of the early Christians. On the other hand, looking from the Mount of Olives toward Jerusalem, they could still see the destroyed remains of the glorious ancient city, and also the parts of the New Jerusalem that the Romans were building.
There were two commemorative sites on the Mount of Olives for the ancient Christians, one at the top and one at the bottom of the mount. Both were natural caves, one at the Garden of the Gethsemane and one where the shrine of the Pater Noster is situated today.
Near the middle of the mountain, where we place today the memory of the Dominus Flevit, memories only begin to appear in the Middle Ages. Pilgrims going up or down the mountain indicated near the middle, between two roads, in a place of open countryside with a few trees, the exact spot where Jesus had looked towards Jerusalem and wept over it. The point of reference was an old mosque, now abandoned and in ruins, called the Mansoria. At the end of the 19th century, the Franciscans were able to buy a small plot of land near the Mansoria Mosque, but they could not yet build a church. It was still the Turkish Empire, and there the modern memory of the Dominus Flevit was born.
Ancient remains of a small monastic church were found in the 50s, and some small graves with stone boxes called ossuaries made to gather the bones of the dead. This was an extremely valuable testimony for the ancient Jerusalem, and perhaps also for ancient Christianity.
On top of these boxes are all the characteristic names of the Hellenized Jewish society in Jerusalem at the time of Jesus: Simon, Lazarus, Zechariah, Mary, Martha, and even Jesus. But the most striking thing was some symbols that could be related to Christianity, or at least to Messianism, that is, the longing for the Messiah. The most important of these symbols is called the Chi Rho. It's formed of two Greek letters that are the first two letters of the word Christos. Comparing them to Latin letters, they look a little bit like the P and the X, and we continue to use them with the same Christian meaning, both in places of burial and in liturgical vestments.